Obesity and overweight have in the last decade become a global problem, according to the World Health Organization. Back in 2005, approximately 1.6 billion adults over the age of 15 plus were overweight. At least 400 million adults were obese, and at least 20 million children under the age of 5 years old were overweight. Now, are you listening?
Oh yes, yes.
You have a mission. I want you to find out for me all about obesity. Is that clear?
Oh yes.
I will check up on you. Now go.
Obesity? What's that? An obese person is someone who has so much body fat that it affects their health negatively. If a person's weight is 20% higher than it should be, he or she is considered obese. Have you ever heard of the body mass index? BMI is a measurement that derives from the height and weight. So if your BMI is 25 and 29 in between, then you are considered overweight. However, if you are over 30, then you are obese. Yes, that's right. Now let's investigate. Hi. Senior, where are you? Let me bring you to Dr. Ivan. Hello? I know what you want. Let me tell you. The diagnosis of obesity. A complete medical history, including age of onset, family history, and lifestyle are all necessary to determine obesity. Blood tests, including levels of glucose and cholesterol, are also important. Want some? Take. Now that we know about the diagnosis of obesity, do you know what are the signs and symptoms of obesity? Oh, I know. Have extra fat around the waist. What are you looking at? A higher than normal body mass index and waist circumference. Obvious areas of fat deposits. Difficulty in doing daily activities. Lethargic. Restlessness. Why are you taking your script? No, did I?
So now that we know the signs and symptoms of obesity, it is also better to know what causes obesity. Weight is balanced by the amount of energy or calories you get from food and drinks, which is called energy in, equaling the energy your body uses for things like breathing, digesting, and being physically active, which is called energy out. Energy balance means that your energy in equals your energy out. To maintain a healthy weight, your energy in and out needs to be balanced over time. If your energy in is more than energy out over time, there will be weight gain. On the other hand, if your energy out is more than energy in over time, there will be weight loss. Therefore, obesity happens over time when you take calories in more than you use. Other than the misbalance of energy in one's body that causes obesity, research has shown that genes play a part too. Studies of identical twins who have been raised apart demonstrates that genes have a strong influence on one's weight. It is found that obesity tends to run in the family. Therefore, your chances of being obese are greater if one or both of your parents are overweight or obese. Other than that, genes may also affect the amount of fat you store in your body and where on your body you carry the extra fat. In addition, genetics may also directly contribute to the severe obesity in people with family histories of the problem. Genetic factors such as slow metabolism may also make people more prone to being overweight. At least 7 genetic mutations have been associated with specific and uncommon cases of severe obesity. Some of the examples would be HOB1, human obesity 1, a gene that is linked to a high BMI in women, and leptin gene variants, which have been linked to leptin deficiencies and obesity. However, One thing to be glad about is that even when genetic factors are present, one can still control their own diet. In addition, studies have also found that the less people sleep, the more likely they are to be overweight or obese. People who report sleeping 5 hours a night, for instance, are much more likely to become obese compared to people who sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. People who sleep fewer hours also seem to prefer eating food that are higher in calories and carbohydrates, which can lead to overeating, weight gain, and obesity over time. On top of that, hormones that are released during sleep controls appetite and the body use of energy. One example will be the insulin that controls the rise and fall of blood sugar levels during sleep. Hence, people who do not get enough sleep have insulin and blood sugar levels that are similar to that of people who are likely to have diabetes. Also, people who do not have enough sleep on a regular basis seem to have a high level of ghrelin, a hormone that causes hunger, and low levels of leptin, a hormone that helps to curb hunger. Hence, people who do not have enough sleep over time may have the risk of becoming obese. The choice of lifestyle is also a very important factor in influencing your weight. Poor food choices such as eating high-fat and processed food may end up causing you to take in more calories than you need than filling up on fruits, vegetables, and unrefined carbohydrates such as wholemeal bread and brown rice. Alcohol also contains a lot of calories, and that is why heavy drinkers are often overweight. Furthermore, bad eating habits tend to run in the families. Other than inheriting a slow metabolism, the habits learned from parents since young can also be an important factor, as childhood obesity is a strong indicator of weight-related problems in later life. Therefore, we need to be careful with the lifestyle choices we make, for learned unhealthy lifestyle choices continues into adulthood. Another reason of why many people become obese is that they do not stay physically active. Most of them spend long hours on watching television, using computers, doing work, schoolwork, and carrying out leisure activities. And it has been found that spending more than 2 hours a day on regular TV viewing has been linked to overweight and obesity. Some of the reasons for people not being active includes relying on cars instead of walking to places, fewer physical demands in work or at home, because modern technology and conveniences reduce the need to burn calories. Therefore, people who are inactive are more likely to gain weight because they don't burn out the calories they take in from food and drinks.
Tom and Jerry! Now, tell me, do you know about the consequences of obesity?
Oh, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, make sure you do know.
I have all that you need to know the consequences of obesity. It includes premature death, heart disease, cancer, breathing difficulties, diabetes, reproduction complications, and additional health consequences. Obesity can affect our quality of life through limited mobilities and decreased physical endurance, as well as social, job, and academic discrimination. One more thing. Obesity is also one of the chief causes of disability. Many of them cannot care for themselves or perform routine household tasks. Also, they are more likely to have health care expenses and the need for nursing home care when they get older.